I try to do the same thing every year and then look at it at the end of the year and say, what worked and what didn't work. And it's funny because sometimes I'll have an idea that I think is going to be really popular and nobody signs up for it. And I try not to get upset about it. We'll just look at it and say, well, what happened here? Why was this program not successful? And then we adapt and adjust. So I think one thing that helps set me apart maybe, or helps set 2019 programming apart, is that we just keep tweaking all these programs every year to find out what works best in terms of what allows the kids to have the most fun and also improve their golf game as they're doing it. So in terms of how I come up with the programs that I run on a yearly basis, I'm a big sports fan, right? And my dad was an athletic director at a local high school. And I remember just growing up with him and doing different soccer camps and different sports camps and just trying to incorporate some of the things that I've taken in over the years, obviously, and looking at what other successful people do, not just specifically in golf, but like, what are some things that people are doing that are creating excitement, and how can I work that into my golf programming? The college football fall one is awesome. We have a fun game where we basically hit it through a field goal and they get a different amount of points. We have a game where we set up what looks like an end zone or a football field. They got to putt into the end zone back and forth. This year, actually, we just wrapped that up. And this year's champion, we did like a military theme this year. We also threw in Penn State, just for good measure. Navy won. They went undefeated. That's the first time anybody's gone undefeated in our fall junior golf program. But that was good. We had 32 kids this year, which is close to an all-time high for us. PGA Junior League has been really popular for us, and it's something that we're really proud of at Ledge Rock Golf Club. There have been a lot of people over the years who maybe they're reluctant to start a program at their home facility. So a lot of times I'll have people reach out and ask, how can I work this into what we're currently doing? It's really it can be a great developmental program in terms of kids that have never played golf before can easily step in and play this program simply because of the nature of it, of how they can choose the best shot. So it's low pressure. At the same time, we get a lot of pretty competitive kids that are playing in the game, PGA Junior League. So it fits all skill levels. That's kind of the way that I would promote it to different people, especially golf professionals that are looking to start it at their facility. And it's just amazing the amount of marketing and promotion that the PGA's done to get the program. I don't know what, in terms of numbers this year, what that looked like, but I'm pretty sure it's gone up every year. One of the ways that I like to get kids out onto the golf course that maybe aren't huge fans of practicing is we develop structured games. Okay, so a lot of times when somebody will come out for a golf lesson, they don't exactly know what we're going to do that day. So I might have a printed out sheet that looks kind of like a checklist, and we'll go out on the golf course and we'll say, okay, here's what we're doing today. On hole 1, you need to get up and down from a bunker. Okay, we'll give them maybe a couple opportunities depending on their skill level. And the cool thing about structuring it in that way is that you can base it on their current skill level. So I had a kid this past week where we had a really difficult game for him, where he had to hit the green from 100 yards, then he had to move back and hit the green from 110, and we had to go all the way back to 200 yards. This kid finished in the top 10 in Pennsylvania in the high school state tournament, and he thought it was going to be really easy. He never made it past 140 yards. So it's really, if you can be creative with the way that you're exposing kids to the game of golf and get them off the driving range as quickly as possible onto the golf course so they can see that it's just a fascinating learning lab if you take them onto the golf course and you can learn the game on the golf course. One of the ways that I would get parents involved in the whole process of developing their child would be an app that I use called Coach Now. So anybody that comes out, not just kids, will have their own training space where we'll capture key moments from lessons. Maybe if there's a drill or something specific that we need to change technique-wise, we'll post it on the app. So sometimes parents will ask me if they can hang around and watch the lesson, and I'm fine with that. But what they can do is after each session go back and look and see key bullet points. And a lot of times I'll have juniors or adults, anybody that I'm teaching, repeat something that we learned during the lesson at the end, give me a little recap in their words, just maybe a minute long, so that before they go out and practice or in between golf lessons, they have sort of like a virtual library of all the things that they've done that are specific to that person. So one of the ways that I think engagement happens from a professional standpoint with other golf professionals is social media, for sure. I see people post stuff all the time, and I steal a lot of ideas. Hopefully I give them credit for the ones that I take. And I have a lot of people who will follow some of the stuff that we do on social media and say, man, I tried that game that you did the other day, and that is awesome. So social media, has certainly good things and bad things that go along with it. But in terms of sharing information, I think it's so great because you can put something out there in 1 second and people can see what you're doing. Also just via email. I'll have people reach out all the time and say, this is our junior programming from last year and we really want to build on it. Can you just take a look and see what you would recommend? Are there any gaps in our programming where we're not capturing certain demographics of kids? One way that kids or aspiring golf professionals or other PGA professionals that are looking to expand on their junior programming is just do it. Try it out, right? There's been plenty of programs I've done that have failed. There's always a level of anxiety when you're coming out with a program and you're not sure if it's going to be successful or not. But the only way that you can tell is if you actually launch it and get out there and try to do the program. And once you do that and the program's successful, the people that attend are going to be your best pieces of marketing. So I can't tell you how many people have been referred to Ledrock just because of some of the unique things that we do. And I try to keep it creative. I like when people say things like, oh, I've never seen anybody do that program before. I sort of not a huge fan of doing the exact same thing that everybody else is doing. So try something new. If it works, great. If not, then you have some information on how you can improve. Some of the things that would determine whether a program was successful or not, obviously, the easy things are, what was the participation level? Like, what were the numbers like? I would say even more importantly was what was the reaction from the participants that actually were in the program. So if we launch a program and we have maybe some numbers that aren't great, but that everybody that was in the program thought it was fantastic, we'll look at it and see, how can we maybe market this program better? So there's certainly a lot of things that we look at in terms of what makes a program successful, but I would say the number one thing is what was the reaction to the people that were in the program and did they have an enjoyable experience? One of the ways that I interact with our management and professional golf staff in terms of programming is essentially I've kind of been given the green light to run the programs in the way that I see is best for our membership. So I'll let them know, hey, this is a program that we're going to do. Can you guys help me promote it? So word of mouth certainly is a huge deal for us, but I might have a unique situation where I'm at Ledrock in terms of where they're basically saying, look, Andy, we know that you're the expert in this area of the game. Take the ball and run with it. And any way that we can support you, we're here in terms of marketing or sending out an email or posting something in the locker room or something on social media. So I have a tremendously supportive club that's, I think, behind my programming 100%. Certainly my parents, Roy and Donna Miller, have been huge along the years, from obviously the time when I was a little kid, but even now, just their support and love go a long way. My family, my wife Carla, my 4 boys, Noah, Owen, Ian, Jonah. Pretty sure I nailed that in order of oldest to youngest. Certainly the staff at Ledrock Golf Club, our general manager Jerry Heller, our head golf professional Zach Halvonic, Bill Kindle, another golf professional there, our superintendent Alan Fitzgerald, and just our board and management team for giving me the wheel, so to speak, and saying, let's run with it. In terms of PGA golf professionals, I want to get this in there, people that have influenced me along the years. Mike Killian was a great inspiration and mentor for me at Hollywood Golf Club and Galloway National Golf Club. David Rupp at Pagoda Golf Area. And the guys from US Kids Golf, John Godwin and Jod Bryan. I did a seminar at Matitaconk National, can't remember, 2012 or 2013, where I had been doing some of this game-based stuff, and I kind of thought maybe, like, I felt weird about it. Like, maybe, am I having too much fun? Are these kids having too much fun? Or like, is this actually working? Like, and basically I went to this seminar. It was just like giving me the green light, like, hey, that is an awesome way to teach kids. Here's how we do it. I took so much out of that. It was just basically like, hey, it's okay to do what you're doing. It might look different than what other people are doing. So those guys really affected my career tremendously. And then just other PGA golf professionals that have kind of reached out for advice and also to give me their support and say, hey man, we love some of the stuff that you're doing. So probably more people that I can't think of off the top of my head to thank for it, but lots have contributed to any success that I've had.